everybody? We're back. Beefy Boys Breakdown, Episode 7 for UFC Fight Island 2. Got some nice sherbet cookies to start the podcast. Get my beefy brother on here as soon as possible. Here he comes, and let's get this show on the road, everybody. Sorry, I cough when I smoke joints like a little bitch.
There we are.
What's up, bro?
There we are. Is that sherbet cookies?
Yeah, bro, it's crazy. It's like, I don't know, it's probably a little bit old. It's in a tiny bit on the dry side, but it's testing at like 31%. And like my local dispensary has it as like the discount bud right now. So it's like, it's not even like littles or anything or shake or nothing like that. It's like nice nugs of 31% sherbet cookies. So I'm happy.
Damn.
Happy camper.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, this card, by the way, Beefy Boys Breakdown number 7. Number 7,
yeah.
Hit that off the rip.
Hit that
off the rip. Yeah,
we don't rest on the 7th day, man. We don't do that.
No, we got an Adventist calendar. Oh, wait. Maybe the opposite. I don't know.
No, I used to have this lady that did my dreads, and she was a 7th-day Adventist, and then she could never do my shit on Saturdays, and like that's the only day I had off work, so I had to keep it pushing. But
Saturdays?
Yeah, they just switched it to Saturdays, I guess. I don't know.
That's the day when you get everything done.
Yeah, maybe that's what she didn't want. Maybe she just didn't feel like doing my dreads, but I don't know. But yeah, it was a great fucking card, man. A lot of fun. A lot of what we both deem to be, up and comers. Like,
dude.
Keep an eye out for.
Fiziev or Fiziev, that dude's a monster.
His Muay Thai was just so impressive.
Those body kicks were like hurting me. Like
gnarly snap. Like it looked like those fucking videos you see of the Thai kids like kicking down banana trees and shit. Like legit, just straight.
And his combinations were beautiful.
Yeah, just super creative. There's like this underrated part of fighting of just like the cerebral nature. It's almost like a drum solo or like a freestyle rap. Like not everybody can just put shit together in like a creative yet effective order. And because there's so many basic combos that we all know. 1-1-2. Are you there, brother?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn, your head movement was so still. I thought the goddamn shit froze, man. Shout out to
Locked in.
Yeah, wrestling got your neck stabilizers on point, dog. But yeah, no. Just sorry, I got distracted by you. Just immaculate. My fidgety ass is always bouncing around.
A little mesmerizing with this blade of light on my left.
Oh, there you go, man. But yeah, man, overall, just really impressed with his Muay Thai, his ability to put together creative yet effective combos. Because there's some guys, they put together the creative combos, but it's like at the wrong time or just kind of like trying to look flashy. But he seemed to do it in like a really like effective, like,
I feel like
this looks cool, but it also is like what needs to be done right now.
Yeah, like I felt like he was like dodging punches, like incoming shots. He would like dodge or like kind of shield.
Like while he was throwing a kick, I thought that was impressive. I noticed that too. Like usually guys will just eat the shot or wait till after their kick's thrown. He seemed to have this ability to like dodge and throw at the same time that not a lot of fighters have. So yeah, no, he was definitely one of the impressive people. I thought there was a lot of impressive people. I guess we'll kind of dive into this prelim.
Yeah, we can start with Felipe and Spivak.
I thought it was cool to have heavyweights open it up.
I like
though.
that.
I'll be real.
I like that. I'm always in for a heavyweight fight.
Just dive straight in. You know what I mean? No dipping your toe in the water there. Just some straight heavyweight sluggers going at it. It was Felipe's debut, and I thought his midsection looked like it was his debut, and that's coming from the Beefy Boys.
He's first team all beef.
First team all beefy, yeah. He built like Bill Dotrieve off King of the Hill. But you know what though? He had kind of fast hands for being so beefy.
Yeah, honestly. But he got real tired at the end and just got
real tired.
Just wrecked on the cage.
Yeah, I mean he was a tough son of a bitch. I thought he was
super tough.
Happen. Like, because it's just every single time he got tagged, it was like a decent shot. Like we can all see it was a decent shot. It wasn't a glancing blow. Like it was he would get stuck and then be like, "Oh no, I didn't hurt, bro." Like every time, every fucking time.
Yeah, he was actually like, I wasn't a fan of him just because he was like such a bitch, and then he was talking shit after the fight too.
It's like, who are you trying to convince, us or yourself?
Right.
Yeah. So, like I said, I can see through that. Like, I'm sure some fucking chode out there thought he was the toughest man alive that just never got hurt. But I saw that as kind of like false bravado, false confidence. Just like, I think he was trying to convince himself it didn't hurt more so than the judges.
That's a lot like the Proazka fight.
Yeah, but he turned it around. It turned out
but he was real.
Badass. And which Felipe turned out not to do.
Precisely.
But yeah, let's see here. I had Spivak definitely took round one.
Agree.
I had written down Felipe says nothing hurts. Like literally, like just like I was like I noticed that while I was watching. I was like, dude, it's okay to not do that every single time because then you just look like a bullshit artist. Like
yeah.
It's like, you know, if somebody lands a jab or say they do land one big blow, but you're still. But, like, no, you get, like, rocked, like, staggered, like, go cross-eyed and then be like, oh, it didn't hurt. Like, all right, dog.
It's like Patrick Beverly when they asked him, what's it like guarding LeBron? And he said, no problem. And then it ends up LeBron scored, like, 18 points on that night. It's like, well, apparently it was a motherfucking problem for someone.
Just shut up. But it's just that athlete mentality, like, and I like to, like, you know, making cross-sport reference, like, cornerbacks literally have to believe they're better than the guy they're guarding, even if they're clearly not. So,
wide receiver as well. That is the mental battle there for sure.
Yeah. So yeah. Then let me see. So yeah, Spivak took round one. I thought it was funny because like on Google they had it spelled with a K, Spivak with a K on the end. And I think UFC.com. But then on the card on TV they had it spelled with a C at the end.
Well, I'm an idiot because I have it spelled with a C because I only saw it that way on the TV.
I don't know which one's right though. Like I don't know. I don't know which editing guy got it wrong, or maybe it's like maybe it's like some Russian letter that doesn't necessarily have an English direct translate.
Oh, don't they have like
their alphabet has more letters than ours, I think. Talking clearly not a linguist here, but yeah. So Spivak, whether you have it with a C or a K, it still spells Spivak, and he had a Oh, he kept whiffing on his takedowns though. Like I guess that's one thing I want to like get Felipe. Yeah, early, exactly. Second round, first round. Felipe was doing a decent job with takedown defense. I don't really know if it was good takedown defense or just shitty takedowns, but either way, he was over. He was over, I think, until the third round, I believe.
Dude, actually though, I should say Felipe's 50-50 grappling was awful. Awful. He never would work for an under-over to have like, to, you know, do 50-50 control. Like, he never worked for that.
I thought his grappling defense was just lazy as all fuck.
Yeah, it was lazy.
I guess a lot of that was probably has to do with stamina and gas tank and all that, but he was just literally laying there.
I don't like his mental. I don't like anything about the way he operated, honestly. I'm not a fan of Felipe. I don't care what.
Yeah, I'm not looking out for his next fights. Definitely not following him on social media.
But I did have him in the second round.
Yeah, I did too. I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, I did have him win in the second. Like, you know, Spivak, it wasn't a dominant victory. I think just Felipe did a lot of annoying things and that, like, just made us kind of quasi-root against him. But,
oh, yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, he wasn't winning fans with doing any of the things he was doing.
And then, so round three, Spivak starts to take control. We both alluded to Felipe's gas tank, where he pretty much shot his load by the third round. Spivak had 3 takedowns. I counted. Maybe I missed one or something, but he had 3 takedowns.
No, so that's what I got.
So in a fight like that was kind of 1-1 and kind of lackluster, 3 takedowns in a round should be enough to win you the round.
Oh, and he was just beating the shit out of him in the third round too.
Yeah. So in Spivak, I thought it was interesting. Maybe you can kind of help me understand this. They gave him a majority decision. Now, what is the difference between a majority decision and a unanimous decision? Because I understand split decision, but the verbiage of majority decision kind of threw me off. Like, what's the difference there?
So the scores that came out were 29-27, 29-27, and then 28-28. So what happened is one guy had as a draw. Yeah, because he had Felipe winning the first round and second round, and then him losing as a 10-8.
Oh, that's interesting. I can kind of see that rationale. It sounds, my initial knee-jerk reaction was that guy was full of shit, but whenever you put it that way, the 10-8, I wouldn't have given Felipe one, though. I guess that's where I disagree. I
Right.
agree with the 10-8 because round 3 was an ass whooping.
Right. Me and you both score at 29-27, according to what we would say.
Yeah, so I'm glad you cleared that up for me, and hopefully it cleared it up for some listener out there that was, also kind of confused. That probably didn't give a shit about that. But
interestingly enough, in the Tyron Woodley Wonderboy Thompson first fight, there was a majority draw because 2 judges had it as a draw and 1 had it Woodley winning.
Yeah, actually, I remember that. And so that's why I didn't understand, because I understood draw was an option, split decision was an option, and unanimous decision was an option. So I was trying to think, like, well, what isn't covered by one of those 3 outcomes? But I guess majority is what one judge has it as a tie. That's interesting. Okay, well, good. I mean, added to the old fight IQ. Hopefully a few watchers did too. All right, so yeah, I mean, Spivak, not like necessarily killer. Also looked like a guy that could maybe make 205. Like he wasn't the biggest heavyweight. Like I think he weighed in at like just I don't know. That's a weird cut though. Like we talk about that weird gap on the weight classes sometimes. So good for him. I think if he gets in there against a real giant beefy heavyweight though, he's gonna have some issues just based off pure strength. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not expecting Spivak to be in a title fight.
I'm
my phone on airplane mode earlier, and then it was acting like my Instagram Live wouldn't go live while it was on airplane mode. So, got a call. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
So enough with that fight. It was a good opener though, especially with some of the lackluster. Like for a second there, I was saying the prelim openers were cursed. By those very low standards, it was a good way to start the night.
That is a good way to not be disappointed, to have super low standards.
Yeah, especially, I mean, it doesn't get any lower than like first fight on a prelim of a fight night. But I'm saying even with those low bars, a couple of the other ones kind of weren't living up. But
right, yeah.
All right, so next we got Davi Ramos and Armand. Actually, take it away.
Armand Sarukian. Who
Sarukian, that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, who was just honestly like a monster, bro. Like I was impressed with him the whole time because I liked Davi Ramos, 155, lightweight for anyone that wants to know the weight. I actually remembered to write down everyone's weight next to their name in my notes. So
I did a better job. Not everyone.
Saw a Tall Boy Mango. I might have to go match that.
Yeah.
I got one in the fridge myself.
I decided to go Tall Boy yesterday. I was tired of drinking grapefruits like your ass.
Yeah, that's right. So I just thought Sarukian was super polished, man. He looked really clean. He landed that spinning heel kick to the face in the third. Like Davi Ramos is tough, by the way, for eating that and then just being like, "No, I'm good to fight."
Yeah, like there's a lot of guys that Davi Ramos would have beat that day, but because he didn't. It was one of those scenarios where I'm just gonna say Armand, just for here out. Armand just was so on point and so creative and so explosive and just so versatile in his striking, just mixing up these wild.
And he can grapple.
Like just so well rounded. I think Joe Rogan put out a post like being really impressed with him and thinks that he's going to make some move, some hay going forward. Yeah, and so I mean,
that's big props.
I had the same takeaway. I mean, he just didn't. He looked like, why is he fighting this early? He looked like a main card guy, just off the eye test. Like he's going places. Like there's an eye test level to fighting, and not everybody passes it. Shout out Kamaru Usman, but there's an eye test level where you can just kind of say like one of these things is not like the other. Like I don't know, like. And he passes that eye test. I mean, shout out.
I'm glad you brought up Usman. I'm glad you brought up Usman because I have a hot take this week because I've been thinking about it the whole fucking week.
Been brewing.
Anyone that fights Usman, I hope they win. I don't hope he wins. I am tired of watching him fight. It's the same thing as Tyron Woodley. It's not that I don't respect him. I just can't watch those fights any longer, man.
Yeah, and they're these elite athletes that it's like I understand if you're like a stumpy kind of just grinder, got here with just heart and balls kind of fighter. But dude, these guys are freaks, like badass athletes. Like there's nothing stopping him from just being like a super versatile like fighter. I mean, he can strike. It's just like I think that's the problem. We don't hold it against guys that can't do more, but it's almost like a compliment, I guess a backhanded compliment. It's like, Doc,
Yeah.
we know you can do more. Like, you
Right.
are making a conscious mental decision to have these low-risk, boring game plans.
Right.
And so, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's just some, like, Dagestani wrestler or just, I don't even know, just some grinder that's been fighting local circuits for 12 years and finally gets his shot. But, like, no, like, dude, you can do whatever you want in there. Like, you have the gifts, the physical tools, and you just, like, choose option whack. Like,
it's like when he fought Covington and he actually personally hated Colby Covington. He actually stood up and struck with him, and it was a dope fight. It's the best fight he's ever had.
Photoshop MAGA hats onto whoever he's fighting, and then maybe he'll like buy into some fake news Instagram posts and get mad and want to whoop some ass.
Right. Because that's had him charged up.
But back to this Davi Ramos Sarukian fight, man. I pretty much had every round going to Sarukian.
Yeah, me too.
Ramos did have really good jiu-jitsu, though, and he had good power. Like we also talked about, certain guys just have power in their hands, and especially smaller guys, you kind of just have to be born with it. Like, it's not weight room power. And I thought Ramos had that. Like I said, Sarukian was such a crisp striker and grappler that he kind of either – and Sarukian was, I think, the longer fighter. So it was like Sarukian was either all the way out, like just dissecting him with kickboxing precision, really crispy striking, or he was all the way inside grappling, but there wasn't a lot of room for that intermediate spacing for Ramos to get his power shots off. But he did land a couple, but it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to overcome. But he landed some nice shots on Sarukian, and Sarukian ate those nice shots.
It's kind of like you said earlier, though, that like on a different night, Davi Ramos might beat a lot of different dudes, or if it's a different dude in that cage that same night, I should say.
Because he looked good, like, and I think I started to make this point and then just wandered off like I tend to do. But so not often that you can have a performance as dominant as Sarukian had, while your opponent still looks good. Like what I'm saying is Ramos looked good, yet he still got dominated. And fighting's just one of those weird sports where that happens. You know what I mean? It's just you can look good, you can fight good, and still lose if the guy you're fighting is that good or if the matchup is that bad. And there's kind of a combination of both. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I agree. I just think Sarukian presented a better skill set at all of the different facets. Like, he was just a little better at grappling. Maybe not jiu-jitsu necessarily, but he stayed away from it, so maybe that was fight intelligence. He's better at striking. He's better at, like, grappling defense.
Yeah, and he was comfortable no matter where the fight went. He
controlled it too,
Yeah.
I feel like he controlled it more than Davi Ramos, for sure.
I thought Ramos was going to take round two. Like, he started round two really strong, but then just Sarukian just got his shit together.
Too strong.
And just took over. And then we talked about this before. Like, sometimes a fight's a knockout, but it was a boring fight. And then sometimes, in this case, I wanted to make the point, because some people see a decision and kind of eye roll, or we always talk about on the podcast people that just Google who won the fight and how, and how that just doesn't tell the story. Because, like I said, some people, may roll their eyes at a decision, maybe think it wasn't that exciting of a fight. But that was a banging-ass decision, very impressive decision, very entertaining decision. Like,
good 15 minutes,
isn't always a bad word. Yeah,
like that was a good 15 minutes. And
both guys looked like they could have gone 5. Like, I don't think either guy was really tired.
No, that's what I was going to say, is it was like a good 15. Like, they weren't like dragging ass at the very end. Like, sometimes that happens, and like, I don't blame them. That's a tough thing. But
yeah, definitely. But so I mean, honestly, kind of impressed with both guys. But Sarukian's going places. Like, you said that was 155, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I feel like 155 needs a little star power. I mean, needs some excitement. That's for sure. It's right?
Yeah, it's Khabib. It's Poirier. That's Gaethje, Barboza.
Yeah, I think he'll end up there. Being in the mix with those names.
Dude, there was another 55er on this card that was like a beast. Hold on, it was Fiziev. Or Fiziev.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get him later.
Fight
But
each other next. especially since they were on the same card. We've been
pretty
noticing
tight.
Dana likes to do that. Like
They're
if
pretty
two guys
tight. Well,
are
because they're on the same
card, they have
same
the same
fight
amount of
schedule.
time to recover. Exactly. I could. Hey, that may be a Beefy Boy. You heard it here first.
Yeah, which would be a good fight.
Sarukian, I'd watch it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's almost like good enough for a pay-per-view undercard. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be a banging fight, I would assume. Because Fiziev likes to throw, and Sarukian will counter-strike pretty hard. But the next fight was a 135 fight. It's Amir Albazi versus Malcolm Gordon. And honestly, I thought Malcolm Gordon looked like pretty impressive for the most part.
Yeah, that stuff came out of nowhere. Like, it just, I don't know. It's like that fight was over before it began.
Yeah, that triangle was quick.
Like, and I think that was the first triangle of 2020, right? Or am I missing that? Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So it was like, we do appreciate, exotic submissions and exotic finishes here on the Beefy Boy Breakdown.
I had interesting to note that Albazi is a purple belt while Gordon's a black belt. So I don't know how that works in, like, jiu-jitsu terms, but, like, someone get this man a stripe on that purple belt.
Yeah, Bisping, I don't know if it was Bisping or Felder, but one of the announcers was talking that, like, a lot of guys, apparently the whole belt system in jiu-jitsu is more based off of gi.
Yeah, it's only gi.
Exactly. So for those that don't know, like, it's almost like a karate robe looking thing, but in jiu-jitsu it's called a gi, traditional martial arts kind of clothing. And it provides holds to grip on, and for lack of better terms, it makes jiu-jitsu easier. Easier in the sense of you're not trying to submit something that's all slippery and wet. It gives you grip. It gives you something to hold. And that's how you move up in the belt system. And apparently, a lot of guys, that start, they're making money doing mixed martial arts. They're not making money doing jiu-jitsu. They're doing jiu-jitsu to get better at mixed martial arts, just like a lot of football players run track to get better at football. They don't really give a shit about track, or they just want to get faster for football.
Great analogy.
And so a lot of guys, I think that's what they were saying was the case with him, that, like, if he just spent a couple months going to gi classes, he would have a higher belt, but he's just, he's working on MMA, which, who can fault him, because that's what's paying the bills and that's what's keeping his face from being destroyed. So yeah, I think that's kind of what happened there. And a lot of guys get these black belts doing, like, before they start fighting, like they're doing jiu-jitsu in high school, or just some of these guys, especially Brazilians, since they were childhood. Yeah. And so, like, they have these black belts before they even start fighting. And it's not that it doesn't translate, like a black belt shows up in the octagon, but it's not like a 1-to-1 ratio. Like a gi black belt doesn't always equal effective in octagon.
Oh, no, not at all.
Or not at all. Grappling, excuse me.
Right,
but,
yeah.
So yeah, I just thought that was kind of I knew that, but they explained it in a way. So they did a great job of explaining it. I saw a few people kind of saying they didn't like Bisping commentating or whatever, or they missed Rogan. And I missed Rogan too, but I thought he did a really good job of breaking that down, and it made sense to me. So if I can make that make sense to somebody else listening here, I figure I'd try to pass that knowledge along, like I said. And my whole motto on life, everybody, is a wise man knows what he doesn't know. People that think they know everything are the most ignorant people out there and most hard-headed people out there. Because, like, once you shut that door on knowledge, thinking you've got it all figured out, man, you're really doing yourself a disservice. And, yeah, in this instance, that's referring to fighting and fight knowledge, but it also refers to all aspects of life, man. Just keep an open mind. You can always learn more. There's always somebody out there that knows more than you. And if somebody's telling you that they know everything and have all the answers, that should be step number one to your bullshit meter going off, because, folks, none of us have all the answers here. So, I don't know, a little big of a tangent, but, Big Beefy Boys Breakdown is more than just about fighting. It's about life. And I think certain times people think that other people have the answers or have all the answers. And that's just, that person doesn't exist. But, yeah, man, so Albazi, quick decision. Not much to really break down because, like I said, it was over before it started. First round stuff. It was pretty quick in the first round, too. Like, what, 2 minutes into the first round?
I think minute 48.
Yeah, really. But we got that exotic triangle choke. And I had heard of, like, you always hear and just for people to not get confused, you always hear the term body triangle, but that's not really a submission. It's just like a maneuver and like a way to control your opponent while you're grappling. But so there is a difference between a triangle choke which is what Albazi finished with, and you may hear people say the term body triangle, and those are two different things, but while they're both referring to grappling. But I don't know. Figure I'll kind of maybe try to clarify that. But yeah, then the next fight was Brett Johns versus Montel Jackson.
It was a good fight.
This is going to be the first one of the night that I disagreed with the judge's decision, like strongly. How'd you feel about that?
I wrote in all caps, I don't know who won, question mark,
Really?
question mark, question
Okay.
mark.
No, that's cool. And like, I'm learning on the fly that just to give less of a shit about my own opinion. Like, my own opinion doesn't matter that much as far as who wins and who loses. So I do disagree, but I'm starting to, like, disagree less because, you know, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what those judges say. So.
True. I just thought Brett Johns, like, he definitely lost the first round. Definitely lost the first round, I thought. But then...
Yeah, I agree.
I thought the second round was up for grabs. I thought the second round was close.
So, I agree. So just breaking it down round by round. The thing is, though, and this will be a theme of the whole fight. I did have round one to Jackson, but the theme of the whole fight is takedowns versus doing something with them versus Jackson's ability to get up, like, instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, John's got a lot of takedowns in this fight. He also had a lot of takedowns attempts that he whiffed on. And, like, I'm talking about the instant they touched the mat, Jackson would stand up, like, immediately with not any control, without any punches being landed. And Bisping was saying during the fight, like, the judges don't care about that. Trust me, take it from a guy who's lost a fight like this. The judges don't factor that in. And I guess that's what happened here, and that's probably what we're disagreeing on. And you did used to wrestle, so I know you appreciate those takedowns. And I appreciate takedowns too. But, like, I guess it's just I did play defense in football. It's like, okay, but defending those, like, it should be a 1-to-1 versus getting them. Like, but it's not. But
at what point did Montel Jackson ever control the place of the fight? He never controlled where the fight went. He would just get back up.
I would say that is.
But, like, Brett Johns literally held him on the fence the entire fight and then would take him down. I mean, he'd get back up with the fence, but, like, he literally controlled him for the second and third. That's why I was like, they're close. Because he wasn't doing damage necessarily, but he's controlling the dude. And, like, in terms of fighting, if you can control a man, I mean, you're probably winning.
So first off, I want to say I'm not necessarily dying on this hill as much as I'm playing devil's advocate here and just presenting what I'm sure Jackson is feeling right now.
Yeah.
Is that because if you want to really say control, that means it's where Johns wanted it. And since Johns was going for the takedown every 3 milliseconds, I would say that points to that he wanted it on the ground. And Jackson was not having that fight take place on the ground. So I could kind of make a lawyer type of argument that it's not where Johns wanted it. It's kind of where neither one of them wanted it.
It's more to John's liking than it is to Jackson's because Jackson wants space. Johns is playing for no space and then takedowns.
Yeah, I'll say either way. This fight probably could have and should have needed another round. It was pretty not definitive. Like you said, even in your notes, like who won that. But also, the only knockdown of the fight, and it was a brutal flag knockdown, was goddamn Jackson starched Johns, like literally knocked him into orbit. He somehow recovered, but that was like a flash knockout. Like he dropped him. Only drop of the fight, by far the most significant strike by a country mile.
Yeah,
And so, did you have Johns winning round two? Because round two was that knockdown, and Johns had a lot of takedowns in that round. But I just feel like in a fight with hardly any significant blows. That knockdown almost needs like extra weighted credit.
I have round 1 as the knockdown.
Oh, was it? My bad.
Yeah, which
My
is
bad.
why
No,
it
you're
easily
right.
was Jackson. So then
Okay,
2 is like
you're right.
or another round where he's just holding him on the fence. And I actually wrote in my notes, could be 1-1, could be 2-0. Like, I thought it was that 50-50. That I didn't even know who – the round is literally a toss-up. And if you scored it for Jackson, I'd have been like, yeah. Because, then it's just what you value. And I guess those judges were just valuing, like, grappling more that night.
Grappling, but to me, grappling is also wrist control. It's also takedown defense. Like, it's just –
Dude. That wrist control was insane. We should note that for Jackson. It was insane. He, like, literally held this man's arms at his will.
So good, man. So good. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it.
But he couldn't get off the fence.
But he could get off the ground. Like, instantly. Super easily.
It's like trying to take down a table.
Yeah, I love that analogy.
That was, Paul Felder. That was so funny.
Like a four-legged coffee table. Yeah. Because, like I said, for every takedown that was successful, there was a takedown defended. And there may have been actually more takedown defended than takedowns. But like I said, you don't get points in the scorecards for takedown defense. But that goes back to like 2 episodes ago whenever we were saying you should. You should.
Right, in the scoring system.
And I guess it's just like when I try to talk to like a little homie or my little brother or a nephew or something, I always try to like get that point across of like, look, there's this like on paper how things should work world, and then there's the real world how it actually goes down.
Yeah.
And that definitely translates to fighting. I mean, it translates to life. It translates to fighting scores because, dude, takedown D should factor on the scorecards, but it doesn't.
Let me ask you it this way, because this will be a better determinant. Like, do you think Jackson got robbed?
No.
Because I have it as like a 50-50 toss-up, and honestly, if you gave it to Jackson just based on him, how hard he won the first round, and you thought the third round was a tie-up, if I'm a judge, third round's like that close like it was, and I know this man destroyed him in the first round, like, might have to just give him, if I gave Johns the 50-50 second round, then I might give Jackson the 50-50 third round just to be fair about 50-50s.
No,
you know what I mean?
I feel it, and like.
So I can see Jackson winning. Like I can see that case, and I'm all aboard for it.
And I can see Johns winning. I also, I guess this is the definition of splitting hairs, but I thought it should have been a split decision, not a unanimous decision. Like I don't understand how just 3 judges sat there and was just like, oh yeah, that guy clearly won. Like I don't think it was that cut and dry. Like I don't know. Like
what if they scored round 2 9-9 and then gave Johns the third round and it was a draw?
I mean, that makes it more sense to me. Like I said, I just don't understand. Like, and I guess, and I do hate when people do this, and I'm about to do it. So hypocrite McGee here. But if that was a street fight, fucking Jackson wins when he drops him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that fight, like, that drop is just being, like, not factored in. Like, I feel like that drop, like, was the coolest, best, most decisive part. Like I said, the whole fight was a toss-up. So in a goddamn toss-up, the guy who fucking knocked the other guy's fucking senseless, like, I don't know. I feel like that's a pretty decent way to decide a winner. But I don't know. Like I said, not going to die on this hill. Whatever. Fucking John's got the unanimous decision because it was super unanimous, super obvious. Yeah, and Jackson and Montel Jackson lost. But I'll say this, like, we got to keep an eye out for Jackson. Also important to know, Jackson had a 4.5-inch reach advantage in that fight, which is the reason why Johns kept wanting to take him down. So that needed to be said, you know.
They were 135, and Jackson's built just like Aljamain Sterling. I think they noted that in the cast.
They did, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'll be real. I'm looking out for Montel Jackson. He won me as a fan, and I know that's more important than getting that win bonus. So
yeah, because you followed him, right? Did you give him the follow?
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, he's winning. He's winning.
Shout out.
Big fan of the Beefy Boy breakdown. But
what about Joe Duffy and Alvarez? Joel Alvarez. I mean, not much to be said, right?
Not much to be said. Really reminded me of the Albazi fight, especially because it was right after the Albazi fight, only one fight in between. I was like, Jesus Christ, that means I have to watch a lot more commercials and filler bullshit because these fights are going so fast.
Yeah.
And important to note. So, all right, let's just go through this. They were trading kicks round one. I thought they were going tit for tat on these really cool kicks.
Yeah,
and then,
I agree.
But just like I said, before really anything had a chance to take place, Joel Alvarez got the round one guillotine submission. I thought it was, I mean, he was the underdog, I believe, the betting underdog.
Yes, yeah.
Alvarez. So I personally like going for underdogs. Like, not going for one, but I don't mind seeing an underdog win. Joe Duffy, I think it's also important to know he retired after this fight. I don't know if you saw it on social media or anything.
Yeah, he's been fighting for forever, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I think that's cool. I think because, I mean, that wasn't a super high-level guy. And he finished him like nothing. Like that was literally like there's nothing to really break down. They traded a few kicks, and then it was over. So yeah, I mean, congrats on a good career. I don't think Duffy should be remembered by this, you know, last week performance. You know, he had many other good highlights of his career that I'm sure he'll be remembered by. And I believe he's from Ireland, and you know how Irish people give their they take care of their own. They show love. So I mean, he'll be good. I hope he goes and has him a pint at the pub and fucking gets his shorts retired at his local pub and fucking just lives his life in Irish happiness. You know what I mean?
For real.
So, I mean,
good shot to a good career.
I don't want to rag on him or necessarily. I hope folks don't remember him as going out like this. But there's just, I mean, he probably wanted to secure one last bag. To be honest, like whenever guys retire immediately after the fight, especially after a loss, I think that their mind's already made up, and it's either the last fight on their contract because people got to know. These fighters don't negotiate contract or fight per fight, even though it kind of seems like they do because they always bitch after every fight, want more money. In reality, I think they do 6-fight contracts, which is I think that's problematic. I think they need to drop that down to like 3 because a guy can go from a nobody to a superstar in 6 fights.
Well, hold on. It's just like the NFL. They can do one fight, 6 fights, 10 fights. So it's what you negotiate.
But man, also like the NFL and NBA, only those big guys have enough weight to negotiate a 1 or 2 fight deal. Like 90% of.
To be honest, though, the UFC won't let you get your shot at the belt until you do a 6-fight sign. And then they'll get you on your second fight as your title fight. That's what Usman's on right now.
Yeah, I think Sugar's on a 6-fight too. I've heard. I think even Masvidal's still in the middle of a 6-fight. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, there's technically on paper other options, but the UFC tries to sign these league-friendly 6-fight contracts, and it kind of hoses the fighter in the long run. But that's a conversation.
It does.
For another day. But so I'm just saying that I said all that to say that. I think personally Duffy knew that he was going to retire before he even stepped into the octagon that day. And probably win or lose, to be honest. I like to think that sounds better. I hope it ain't just like, oh, shit, I got my ass whooped and I'm quitting. Like, I hope it was like a predetermined and, he went over to his, financial advisor and was like, yo, should I get 50 more racks real quick? Would that go a long way to help my family? Or would that pay off my house? Or, you know what I'm saying? Just get your ducks in a row.
Yeah.
And hopefully he got that last check and just is at peace with his retirement. So, yeah, good career, Joseph Duffy. I'll be looking out for Alvarez moving forward because, I'm not saying he's going to be like a superstar, but, look, those kicks and that submission were impressive. He didn't really get a chance to show his stuff. He didn't really show any weaknesses. But, so, yeah, I'll see who Alvarez fights next. I think he was kind of a fringe UFC guy, too. I think he kind of signed to the roster at the last minute. So, I like stories like that. He'll get, probably a better opponent next time, and let's see what happens with Joel Alvarez.
What weight was that? It's the one fight I didn't write the weight down at.
Me neither, bro. I want to say 55.
I think it was 55. I'm almost positive it's 55.
I want to say it was 55. I think there's a lot of 55s on this card.
Yeah, there were.
Which kind of makes sense. That's kind of like a medium-sized guy. There's a lot of 55ers out there, you know, more so than 25ers and heavyweights. You know, like I feel like 170 and 155 is like there's a lot of guys that just in the world that are that size. You know,
dude. The next fight, catch me at 150, the catchweight fight, Grant Dawson and Nad Narimani.
Yeah, no, that was cool. That's cool. I'm gonna be looking out for Grant Dawson. He was super impressive
all day. I wrote in my notes in all caps, Dawson all day at the very end of it. Although he did get clipped at the start of the second round, but then like dominated the rest of the round out.
Yeah, well, I thought Narimani had a few moments in the third. Like he landed some bombs in the third, but like even Dawson after the fight, he even admitted that in the third round, especially the second half of the third round, that he knew he had the fight in the bag, and so he was literally like practicing his
he was fucking around,
yeah. No, he literally said that. He was like, no, I like wanted to try some stuff that I don't really get to try and prove that I could strike and practice my striking, like. And I mean that's pretty big dick energy right there.
Yeah, that is. Like, to be in the middle of a fight,
especially with the way these judges have been hosing people. Like I feel like that.
But he was straight.
There was no debate.
No question.
There was no
dude, the leg kicks. Oh my god.
Yeah, like Narimani was like essentially limping. Like he was like couldn't put weight on whatever his lead leg. I think he had to switch stances.
He did.
I mean, it was destroyed. Let me say, dominant round one for Dawson. Like Narimani had 0 moments in round one. Let me see. Narimani did have decent power, but like
in the second,
all he had. Like I don't know. I tried to like. I always try to find like a silver lining in a fight that gets dominated, like a skill that he has. I thought his power wasn't bad. I thought his takedown defense was super horrible, like unbelievably bad. Like
unbelievable bad.
Like I don't even think he attempted one sprawl or attempted one knee or uppercut or just any kind of strategy that people typically use when somebody tries to shoot. He would just get taken down. Like he didn't even try to fight it a single takedown. I don't think. Like I think it was pretty close to 100% takedowns for Dawson. Like Narimani's takedown defense was horrible.
This is one of those fights where it's bad for Narimani's stock, good for Dawson's stock.
And what I loved about Dawson, because he seemed to be like a wrestler type dude, and but he loved to ground and pound, and he was super active with these takedowns, like
super active.
Like so, for anybody out there that's thinking like, oh, he's just not a fan of takedowns or wrestling, like no, you just have to do something with it. And it almost is like, to me, guys that take people down and don't do anything with it remind me of strikers that throw like one-punch combos. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you
or like just only 1-2s.
Yeah, like even if you land it, like what's next? Like, so it's like you get this takedown and then nothing happens. It almost seems to me like you didn't even think like you were gonna get it, so you didn't think that far ahead. It's like I don't know. It's like I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, Dawson super active on his takedowns. I was super impressed with his ground and pound. Let me see. I actually had round 3 going to Narimani, but I said that knowing that the fight was over. Like I said that knowing that it was still Dawson with the win. So maybe I was giving him some some sympathy points. I don't know, but because he was landing in the third, but it was essentially because Dawson was letting him land in the third.
Right.
So I acknowledge that. But do the judges factor that in? I don't know. But I did thought Narimani had chin and had heart, but that's kind of about it. Like, he's one of those heart and balls guys. He didn't seem super skilled in any particular area. Because his striking was mediocre.
Very unimpressed with Narimani.
His grappling and his takedown D was like negative 1,000. So it's like, I don't know. I don't really know. I don't know why he was. I don't know. Maybe he had some good wins in the past. Maybe that was just a bad fight for him. Maybe that was a bad matchup. But it was almost like, why is this guy even here? Maybe he used to make Dawson look good.
He used to be the Cage Warriors 145 champion like 4 or 5 years ago. Like it's It's crazy that he's as bad as he is now, comparatively to like where the young guys are. Because Grant Dawson's 26.
Yeah,
It's our age.
and I know other people like to like hype up these other like promotions, and I know there is talent in these other promotions, but that's a huge jump, man. I still compare it to like, you know, like there's other like countries like Spain and Italy have good basketball leagues, but it's not the NBA. Like
Right, and you get like a Luka
guys that
Doncic, but not the whole league.
And like there's guys that can hoop in the D League, but when D Leaguers go to the NBA, it's a huge jump. So it's no disrespect to these other promotions, but whenever people come up from what was it, Cage Warriors or Bellator, it's like it's still a big jump. Like it really is. Like I believe that. Other people try to advocate for these other promotions, like try to make it seem like it's not that much less than the UFC, but it seems to prove otherwise every time guys come over.
I feel like ONE FC and Ryzen are pretty good. Bellator's okay. ONE FC is actually dope. ONE FC has a bunch of good fucking fighters. But they're all
good.
They're all Asian league.
Yeah, and I feel like they all still want to come to the UFC, or a good chunk of them. So it kind of ends that debate. Like I don't know, like the place that other like Korean baseball league is really fucking good, but they still would rather be in the MLB. Like it's just it's just facts. Like and like. You know, guys that can't quite hack it in the MLB anymore go to Korea and have like long, successful careers. So
it's like Ben Askren was the champion in ONE FC, and then he came to the UFC and literally was very questionable.
Yeah. So next is, I thought his name was Dolidze, like, but it's what is it? Dolidze?
So it's Dolidze and oh gosh. Ibrahimov.
I feel like if he played football for Coach Nation, he would have been Dolidze for sure.
Or no, I'm sorry, it was
Ibrahimov, yep.
Yeah, Ibrahimov and Dolidze.
Dude, Dolidze. I'm looking up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was 205, right? So
light heavy, yeah.
And these guys look beefy for 205. They both look big.
Yeah.
Like, they look like they walk around at probably heavyweight. Like, they both had the cut to make 205 for sure. They were some thickies.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Ibrahimov ate that knee to the face, dude. He didn't know where he was.
And it was crazy because it wasn't an intentional knee. He was going for the head kick.
And homeboy leaned in.
Yeah, but he was too close to throw the head kick because homeboy leaned in. And then, it caught him with his knee before he could, extend his foot. But it was more effective than the kick would have been if he landed the way he wanted to land it.
That's what I was thinking. It's almost like he, threw a knee up over the top and didn't even, extend the leg, so all the force was just on his knee, right on homeboy's jaw. It was like,
it was bad. It was bad. It was
the ref. Who was the ref? Dude, the ref let him eat, 6 fucking shots before he pulled him off.
And then, it's like... The announcers were trying to justify it. They're like, no, he was kind of trying to still defend. And then they go to slow-mo, and he was just he just literally fell on his shoulder instead of falling.
Right.
Like he was out that whole time. He was man, that was gnarly. Yeah, I mean, because that was first round too, right? That was first round.
Yeah, because he checked a kick from Ibrahimov, and it hurt Ibrahimov's leg. Remember that? He pulled back and then 2 minutes later, just boom, knee KO.
Also notable, that was also Dolidze's debut.
What? It was because he was 7-0.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to him. 205.
Yeah, 205's getting good life.
I love that weight class. It just. Yeah. Probably because, I don't know. It's probably what, if I did lose 20 pounds, that's probably what I would fight at if I was a fighter. And I also I don't know. It's to me, it's the perfect weight class because you
can make 85. You could, if you walked around at 210, you could suck the weight.
I would look like goddamn the Olsen twins with my head just looks like a fucking brass doll. My body would just be my head would be 35 of those 185 pounds. But man, but that's also to say that's not the only reason I like 205. I think it's the perfect blend of speed and power. I think you get almost as much power as the heavyweights, almost, really close. but you also get like 10 times the fleet of foot. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
they're not lugging around.
And the
they
cardio.
all have cardio.
Yep.
They're all built like NFL free safeties. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like
Right.
that blend of speed and power. Like I love it. I just like athletic wise, I think it's the best like weight class. You could argue 85 for essentially the same exact reasons I just listed, but I don't know. I just love to, and you get a lot of the rangier fighters in
the longer guys too, like
205.
those long-limbed goats.
I feel like 85ers are like stumpy 205 fighters that don't want to deal with those lanky guys, so they just, you know.
Shout out Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah, man, and we'll get to his fight, man. But
actually,
yeah,
oddly enough, Hermansson's like the exact opposite build. I mean, we'll get there. But
yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, so looking forward to Delize's next fight. You know, all those guys that get those first-round knockouts, you know, the instant question is like, oh, can they go the distance? How's their cardio? How's their gas tank? But, I mean, until a motherfucker makes them show it, I mean, keep dropping fools, right? I mean, nobody's going to hold that against you for getting a first-round knockout. So, you know, shout out to Delize.
And then, so he was the main event of the prelims. So then you go to the ESPN Plus card. Which I don't like that they did that. Like, they don't have enough sports to not be putting it on at least, like, ESPN2 or some shit, right? Like, maybe that's just trying to get people to –
I think
they're just trying to get subs for ESPN Plus when they do that because they know people will want to watch it now.
Definitely that. And I think they had, like, European soccer on ESPN, which is, I'm sure is – like, if there is one thing going on right now that could potentially outdraw a fight night, it's probably that, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I don't really watch soccer, but I hear people like it.
Yeah.
Word on the street is that people watch soccer, so I don't know.
So we
hell of a main card. I mean, obviously, hell of a prelim card. It started earlier, so it started 2 hours earlier than last time. And at first I thought that, maybe they're just starting it earlier. But I think there was just that many fights that they, like, had to start it earlier, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
don't think that they started earlier for no reason.
No, because how many fights were there? There had to have been like
I want to say there was at least 8 on the prelim. Yeah,
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we had 12 fights. Usually they get 10. Usually cards are 5 and 5.
Yeah, so I guess maybe they did it a little bit earlier.
They did the old school the Fight Pass prelim style thing. They moved both those off of Fight Pass and put them onto the prelim, I guess.
Oh, good.
Because sometimes they'll do Fight Passes and sometimes they won't. Those are just like optional for them.
I swear I'm this fucking close to getting Fight Pass. Those fucking Dana White commercials look so fucking cool. And I have like 90,000 like subscriptions, bro. Like, you fucking name it, I got it, dog. I got the Disney Plus, the Hulu, the Netflix, got the ESPN Plus. I got like Amazon. You know, at Amazon Prime, they get you to subscribe to more shit inside of
Amazon
Prime.
Music?
Oh, there's that. There's there's like the Cinemax, the fucking Showtime,
the
fucking.
My God,
I got like the Nickelodeon one. I got them all, bro. And I got a cable bill too, bro. So it's like, but at this point, it's just like, I'm like, what's $5 more? Like, am I just gonna UFC? So I might as well just bend over and take it, right? Just fucking smile, throw some lube on there.
Dude, the Fight Lores are dope though. You would love the Fight Lores.
There's a lot of. I don't want to watch all that, man. They make
EBI tournament sick.
But yeah, bro. So we're diving into this main card. Quit puffing on this number here and get to work. But man, Pantoja versus Askar Askarov. I loved this fight, bro. I loved everything about it.
I loved this fight. Askarov's number 7. Pantoja was number 4. So a good fight.
Wasn't there like a Harry Potter book called Askar Askarov or something like that? I don't know. I thought there was something like that.
Escape from Askarov, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, so I don't know. Insert terrible joke there. Sorry.
That was a good one.
But yeah, Alexandre Pantoja, and he was actually ranked. Actually, I thought this was dope that they gave us this high-ranking fight to start it, to kick off the card.
I agree, dude.
So it was number 4, Alexandre Pantoja versus number 7, Askar Askarov. I feel like I'm conjuring goddamn spirits every time I say that.
Yeah.
But goddamn, so first thing I noticed just jumped off my TV, like insanely jumped off my TV, impressed the fuck out of me, was Pantoja was so aggressive from his back, like so aggressive.
Yeah, he threw up
like,
4 subs in about 12 seconds, and I was like, damn, they're all hitting close.
From his back, yeah, almost got him, too.
Yeah.
Almost got him. Like, I may, and I'm sure there's somebody out there, and I mean, obviously the legendary Horace Gracie and all that, but I'm just saying, like, as far as aggression from the back, I'm not talking about feeling comfortable from your back. I'm talking about
attacking off your back.
Attacking from your back. Like, him on his back is like Deion Sanders fucking playing defense. Like, you're probably going to score anyway. Like, seriously.
Yep.
Seriously.
Like you might win.
Just dropped.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of the opposite of, you know, we say Alabama offense for like Kamaru Usman. It's like Alabama defense for Pantoja, just relentless.
Score more than their offense. Exactly. Or like when Honey Badger was in college, like that shitty offense. Like their offense was their defense, literally. But yeah, so this jumped off the screen to me. First thing I wanted to know, I mean, so Pantoja went on to lose the fight, but goddamn, I mean, he won me as a fan. Like I can't wait to see
who'd you have winning the first round?
I literally have it written down as close.
Like this. I think Pantoja won the first, question mark?
Yeah. This is another one where, so for everybody, it was a unanimous decision, and old hair splitter McGee over here is going to be like, it should have at least been a split decision. Like, I don't think that there was anything unanimous about this fight. Like, I thought it was, I thought they both had their moments. I probably would have given round 1 to Pantoja, though, just for the reasons we listed. The 4 submission attempts. And they were bullshit submission attempts. Like, they were close.
Yeah.
Was close.
Triangle, armbar, guillotine.
Dude, they were all different, too. So it wasn't like he was attempting the same one over and over again and failing. That's what also gets lost in the numbers. Some people may try to argue that for Askarov, like, oh, well, he just kept trying to say, like, no, these are completely different, like, from different positions on the ground, like, from the back, from, like, just insane. Like, he looked like a fucking wizard, like a fucking, like, anime character just shooting his body around, like, in angles. Like, it was insane.
What was crazy, though, that I thought was, like, Askarov was, like, still down to grapple and take him down. That didn't phase him as far as, like, his game plan. He was like, all right, like, we're going to strike, and then I'm going to try and take you down.
Yeah, which, I mean, he has a pair of stones on him because, man, after that opening barrage, I would have wanted to keep it on the feet. You know what I'm saying?
Also, dude, the grappling scrambles they got into were unbelievable. I wrote out the side of my notes, scrambled eggs, to remind myself of the fucking insane scrambles that were happening in that fight.
Yeah, definitely great scrambles, and that's probably where Askarov ended up winning it, right?
Well, and Pantoja got tired, too.
Yeah, true. Because going for those submissions does take energy, and being on the
defending,
bottom.
Defending takes a lot more energy than being on top just because of gravity.
So, like I said, even though I kind of dick rode Pantoja a second there, I actually don't have that much of an issue with Askarov winning. Like, this was a super close fight. I think Askarov probably did a little more. He probably struck a little better, countered a little better, but I just respect Pantoja's ability to be dangerous from his back, because it's like counterintuitive being dangerous from your back. Like, you're literally on your back. Like, you are literally the definition of what most people consider vulnerable. And yet, there you are on the attack and just as dangerous as ever.
Maybe more dangerous.
Fuck out of it. Yeah, maybe more dangerous, because, like I said, whenever he wasn't on his back, Askarov was essentially winning those.
Right. Like, if he had pulled guard on him, it almost might have helped him if he had, like, pulled and dropped, like, a heel hook or something. But, I mean, that's a crazy thing to do, too, obviously, when you can still strike.
Risky. Yeah.
My final note on this was, I think Askarov won, but a draw would be okay with me. That was what I wrote.
Yeah, it was super close, super close. Like I said, I came out of this with, like, both guys should have their head held high. Nobody got, like, punked. Neither one of these guys are vicious. Both of these guys are very skilled, man, very skilled.
Yeah.
And, like, that's one of those fights where I feel like maybe a super casual fan, or maybe somebody just, I don't know, doesn't know that much about jiu-jitsu yet, may have thought it was a boring fight, but
great fight, dude. Very entertained by that fight.
Yeah, I loved it. Next was, I thought it was interesting, because like, a lot of these cards have been
this next fight.
Only lady fight on the card, prelims or main. I just thought that was
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. I was looking for the girl fight on the prelim card, and we didn't have one.
Yeah, we've been getting so many lately, and I do love watching the girls fight. So, you know,
until something like this happens.
Hard on the stomach. I'm glad I had already finished my dinner by the time this fight rolled around. Fucking.
I wrote my first note is the skirt thing that the one girl was wearing is whack as shit. Lipsy's skirt is whack as shit. That was my first note.
Hey man, I'm not gonna tell her to wear anything different. She fucking scares the shit out of me. First team all name though. I know like that's kind of becoming a theme on this show. We kind of talked about our favorite nicknames, and goddamn, this takes the cake, boys. Queen of Violence, Ariane, Queen of Violence, Lipsky. I love it. I love it better than anything. First team, like that's my favorite new nickname ever. Like in any sport, like I'm taking it there. I don't give a fuck. That's better than Magic Johnson.
You're crazy. You're
Queen
crazy.
of Violence, and then she goes out and rips a girl's leg off the goddamn hinges like a goddamn Barbie doll. Have you ever popped the leg off a Barbie doll or a G.I. Joe, dog? That's what the fuck happened.
Knee bar. Winner by knee bar. Winner by knee bar for the people that don't know. And then, and then was like so happy to have ripped this girl's knee out of socket.
Like when Cartman was licking Scott Tenorman's tears and was just laughing like evil happiness. That is what the Queen of Violence did. She literally broke this girl's So what she hyperextended the fuck out of it. I don't know. I haven't seen the actual injury report.
I need to go look it up, dude.
The wrong way.
It definitely went up the wrong way, and I didn't.
To all fuck.
That girl was still sitting on the stool when they read the decision. And she was screaming in pain as soon as it happened. It was like a horror movie. Tough. It was tough.
They need to take that audio, and the UFC could lease it to the director of Scream 79.
It was tough.
Like literally.
It was so tough. Oh.
Like it was hard to watch. Well, I was kind of nervous something like that was going to happen because they were all tangled up in this awkward manner.
Yeah, well, she was in a calf slicer, but but she was in a calf slicer, but sitting on top instead of turned around in 180. So it was like
a shit show. Like somebody's knee was destined to get shredded. Like just like the way. I mean, and this is a very like layman way to describe it. But just eye test looking at that as somebody who has played sports and actually has had a few knee injuries myself. The way that their legs were just intertwined, I was like, this is bad news. Like seconds before she was even attempting the submission, like even before she went for it. I was like, this is just not like somebody's leg or ankle is probably coming out of this useless. Like a limb, like it just looked, I don't know. It looked ominous. I guess ominous would be like they were just so tangled in such an awkward position. Like that was like, I feel like somebody's knee could have got shredded on accident. Like, you know what I'm saying? Much less once you get somebody actually intentionally trying to shred it.
So like that position that Carolina got Lipsky's leg in is like, calf slicer, right? But typically when you do that, you have to be behind them, right? Like you have control and gravity is not working against you. But she got her hips rolled up underneath her, so it was like inverted.
So are you saying that like Carolina like essentially fucked herself, or was that? Oh,
yes. She got rolled up underneath, and then Lipsky saw the leg and was just like, "Oh, hello, boom!"
It was literally just like right here. It was literally just like she was at the casino, just fucking cranking the goddamn.
Dude, yeah. Oh, that's terrible. But that is exactly what it was like.
Dog. And then she hit the jackpot too. Like
you could see it too. As soon as she like got that leg more than 90 degrees, I knew it was happening. I didn't know why the girl didn't start tapping immediately. Like if someone gets my leg up like that,
I think she like I don't know. I'm gonna say two things here that are probably both controversial. I think that she hurt that girl on purpose. And I don't think she's wrong for doing it.
It was a cage fight, so.
Because she could have just put pressure on that shit and waited for her to tap. Like if you think about it,
she ripped it. She ripped it. It wasn't like get it to the point.
Could be a broken arm, but most people do kind of the unspoken, gentlemanly thing and just kind of crank it and wait for you to tap.
Slow crank. Yeah, slow crank. That chick ripped it.
Fucking like a fucking trucker, just fucking honking his horn, just fucking full steam ahead, fuck this girl's knee. Like, bitch, order your wheelchair, huh? And then just was so elated, so happy. Like she should have done like the Dr. Evil goddamn Beefy at the corner. Like, dude, it was evil joy in its purest form.
Oh,
and like I said,
man.
she's a killer. She's a killer. Her job is to do that. Like,
yeah,
that's how she, like, that's how she, I don't know if she has a family or if that's, whatever the fuck, it's not my business to pocket watch and what she spends that money on. But that's how she earns her living. And she's a goddamn killer. And her job is to be a goddamn killer. And fuck, am I a fan of Queen of Violence. I mean, it sucks that it had to happen to the other girl. Like, I was kind of, because the other girl, I think she was an American, right? Or was she Brazilian?
Brazilian.
Okay, Brazilian. Like, and I liked her dreads. Yeah, she had the dreads and shit. I was kind of somewhat pulling for it, but man, like, dude, I mean, like I said, I'm not mad at anything that happened. It was rough to watch, though. Like, I thought that elbow that we saw on Saturday was going to be, but this was way worse than that.
Way worse.
Dude,
there were 5 subs on this card in total.
Yeah, and
the main card had 3 of them.
There were two 2021sts as far as just unique submissions. There was
2020.
There was the triangle
first time. Yeah.
So that's
and then the heel hook we'll get to later.
So yeah, I'll be real. Like, I'm not trying to watch like 5.
Oh, and this is the first
in a row, but they were all different submissions and super creative and rare and just badass high level shit.
That might be the first knee bar that way, like inverted knee bar, since Aljamain Sterling when he did it last, and then Zabit Magomedsharipov did it literally 2 fights after him. They had 2 knee bars in the same card, and those are like the only knee bars you saw for since then, inverted style.
And also, I just want to note that while Lipsky did win by submission, she was also like the taller, more athletic fighter too. Like, I'm willing to bet she can strike. She's actually mad. If you actually watch the post-fight interview, she was like mad, saying that like she wanted a knockout, but I guess I'll take the knee bar. Like she was mad that she like didn't get like, dude, that bitch. Like, and I say bitch in like
colloquial term, lovingly.
Like seriously, and I'm not just saying that to cover my ass. Like, that's a bad motherfucking bitch. Like,
yeah,
like seriously, man. Like she, man, big fan, queen of violence. Actually, that's what she is. Sorry, she's not a bad bitch. She's the queen of violence, and that's how I shall address her. Because, goddamn, like, I'm a big fan, dude. Like, I'm just saying, like, dude, and I know I get caught up in the moment and recency bias, but man, there's not a lot of chicks I think stand a great chance against her in an octagon. Like,
that was That was what 125, dude. You're talking about Valentina Shevchenko and her maybe fighting someday.
Eventually, yeah. I mean,
holy shit.
I'm not saying she's the best in that division, but I know there's a bunch of fluff rankings, like the bottom of that top 15 that does not want the smoke with the Queen of Violence. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of ranked fighters that she would fuck up. And she's not perfect, and she has more to develop, and she'll get there and all that. I mean, no fighter's a finished product, but I think that there's plenty of ladies in the top 15 that she would fuck up and make scream for their mamas too, dude.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, that's why I threw up the name Shevchenko, the champion, because I'm like, I think that would be probably going to be a good fight if it happens.
Like, if I was Dana, I'd fast track her. I'd get her on the goddamn Sean O'Malley program. You know what I'm saying? Just like fucking, let's get another rocket ship built, because seriously, man, like, I don't know, thoroughly impressed. Like I said,
first team all nickname.
First team all nickname. First, like, she's the goddamn captain of the All-Star team. Like, she's picking the rest of team nickname, Queen of Violence. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. I'm a big fan of women's MMA. That was our only women's card on the night, so I wanted to definitely, give it its just due. And they earned it. Sure.
Goddamn right. Dude, although the next fight of the night, would you say fight of the night?
No, but just because I thought Jacasey got his fucking ass whooped.
Yeah, but
I don't think it was like even enough to be fight of the night. Like in my fight of the night, I kind of equate that to like evenly matched fight of the night. Now maybe performance bonus, or it's hard because it's a decision, but I don't know. I don't think necessarily fight of the night just because I don't think Jacasey was competitive enough. That's no slack to our boy. Was it Fiziev? Because I love his style.
He was such a monster.
And they talked about it a lot, how he had just got back from his Thailand, and he has a very Thai style. And a lot of guys train.
Apparently, he was a striking coach in Thailand.
Yeah, and because a lot of guys train in Thailand, like that's not unique. Especially a lot of guys in those colder European countries, they go to Thailand. It's a beautiful place. It's very cheap too. So like you don't have to be a rich fighter to go there. I mean, I actually want to plan a trip to Thailand and Vietnam myself. That's the first international trip I'm gonna take. Because bro, I'm talking about like 2 racks and you are balling like a bitch. Like the currency transition.
Really?
Insane. Bro, insane. Like I'm talking about like hotels $30 a night, shit like that. Like, and so like these fighters can go there, live for pennies on a dollar, and get world class training.
That's awesome. It's a good plan.
Yeah. So a lot of actually, it's funny. Hannibal Buress did that. He went on. He went to Thailand and was like doing like a kickbox or Thai or Muay Thai for like a month. So it's like people do that, and it's paradise. It's a tropical paradise that's like so cheap, and you have to be really careful and not talk any shit about the king or weird shit happens. But that's how it is in a lot of other countries.
All right. Well,
one of the great things,
glad you say that.
One of the great things about America, I can be critical. I'm not blindly patriotic of our country, but I do love the fact that I'm able to, voice my displeasure with leadership and not disappear in the middle of the night. So
agreed. Yeah.
So
that's a principle that's a hill I would die on. You know what I mean?
That's a hill that many have died on, and thankfully to those men and women. But yeah, man. So, yeah, Mark Jacasey, Rafael Fiziev. I mean, even the fact that you even threw it out there that it may be fight of the night really does show that it was a great fight. The fact that you would even throw it in the hat. And it was. It was a phenomenal fight.
Because Jacasey in the second round did start landing a little more, at least.
Yeah, so I had round 1, Fiziev, great Muay Thai. Round 2, Fiziev, but closer.
Correct.
Yeah,
I wrote the exact same thing. I said 2-0 Fiziev. Fiziev is a beast, but closer.
Yeah, I don't think that there's any argument to make that Jacasey won round 2. But he didn't make it closer. And, Jacasey landed, well, this is going to be kind of subjective. He definitely landed the best head punches of the night.
Yes.
But Fiziev's body kick.
The body kicks, dude. Oh my God. How loud were they?
It's rare that you can give strike of the night, or strike of the fight to a body kick, especially whenever Jacasey had some very powerful head punches.
Mm-hmm.
But the strikes of the night, when I think back to that fight, I just remember those body kicks. I know Jacasey had some moments. And he had some flashy strikes and some big moments, but the moments were brief. And then Fiziev always answered those moments. And like I said, and it was partly because they were fighting in an empty arena, but still, those Fiziev's body kicks, echoed, it was slapped,
louder than they have been recently on Fight Island. Because it's been no fans for a few months, and
we still haven't heard that.
Yeah,
exactly.
That sounded like a bat actually slapping wood. It was crack, and then the slap would echo out, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a big expert in Thai martial arts, but the style was so distinctly Thai. From what I have seen, he had it honestly wasn't mixed martial arts. When he was striking, it was Muay Thai.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boxing.
It was Thai boxing.
It wasn't, and so. It just stood out on the eye. It's just this guy's kicks don't look like other guys. Because most guys' kicks are kickboxing kicks or even Taekwondo kicks or karate kicks. But his kicks were so distinctly Thai kicks that it just was just visually very pleasing to me. Just very aesthetically unique and just I mean, effective as all fuck too.
Dude, he had a combo where he went low left leg kick to a body kick with his left leg. So it was like slap the leg, slap the body. Then he went left hook and then left jab, then right hook, and it was all like a 4-piece combo. And I was like, God damn, this dude is amazing with his combos.
Yeah, there's certain guys that have to like load up for their kicks or switch their stance.
Not
for their
him.
Kicks. Every kick, but then there's like another guy who they can throw all their kicks from any stance. But every kick was like as effortless as a jab.
Right,
like,
and they were powerful.
Powerful jab. It's like those certain boxers that have just that snappy power jab.
That stiff jab, yeah.
That's so effective because it's like the easiest punch to throw, yet your most effective punch to throw. Like, that's every kick in his arsenal. Like, seriously,
yeah.
Everything was so effortless. Like, I've made the Nigel Houston comparison before on the podcast, but like when you watch Nigel Houston do a kickflip, it makes you walk outside and think you can do it because it's just that easy.
It just looks that good.
It looks that easy. It just looks like, oh, that's all. That's it. Like that's that simple.
Yeah, it's so hard.
It is so hard, and that's how I feel about Fizie's kicks. Like he throws like he's throwing out just like a little shadow boxing jab, except for it will slice you in half. Like, and so
I love Fizie.
I thought it was like our first true banger of the night. And when I say banger, that doesn't mean good fight because this card was riddled with good fights. But as far as like two guys throwing and some big shots being landed.
And chins being held up.
And whatever like the rib version of a chin is, Casey was getting just literally pummeled with a baseball bat and was essentially handling it like a G.
Dude, Jacasey must not have a liver either because he was eating those body kicks and body punches like it wasn't shit.
He's going to the hospital, dog. Like
like internal bleeding, maybe.
Yeah, like, but his face was so stoic. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
So,
before we get off this fight,
shout out to him on first team not being a bitch because those kicks would have broke a lot of badass dudes.
He was tough as shit, dude. The other thing I wanted to note before we move on from this fight. Was Fiziev dodging the kicks by leaning backwards like Neo in the Matrix was goddamn awesome.
That's actually like going viral, yeah. No, it's cool too because like I'm a part of some dope like MMA pages on Facebook, and it's cool. I'm actually learning a lot from those pages. And shout out if you're watching this video from one of those pages because this will be posted to one of those MMA Facebook pages.
Yes, sir.
But learning a lot from you guys. And one thing I've learned it was cool because the last night's clip was going viral on Twitter and shit, but on this Facebook group, this guy in the group posted this video of back at whatever old promotion. It was like a smaller promotion before he was in the UFC, and he did the exact same thing. So that wasn't some fluky thing. Like that's a thing that he can do and how he like
really.
Yeah. I forget what promotion it was, but it was like a smaller pre-UFC.
Damn, so he's just that good of a Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah, he just does that shit, like kind of on the red. Like,
dude.
Yeah, it's like
I love
you watch
Fiziev.
Steph Curry like one game hit like a 35-footer, you would think it was like a fluke, but no, he does that. Like dude, that's part of what he does.
And they're 155ers.
Yeah, both of these
bodied
guys were
up.
Bodied up. Yep. Probably could fight 170 if they wanted to have a cheeseburger or two.
What do you think about Fiziev versus Felder?
1 second, one quick question I have. Did you have because you had potentially fight of the night, and I was saying it was one-sided, but I gave round 3 to Jacasey in the moment.
Did as well.
You did? Okay, so I wanted to just address that real quick, and we can move on. But
he actually started to land more effectively in the third, for sure.
He did, sure. But it wasn't enough to get the decision.
Right.
I thought he was maybe somehow pull a finish out of his fucking ass. But,
he was striking hard, and Fiziev was kind of eating him. He's tough. Fiziev has good chin.
Yeah. But as far as his next fight, man,
is Felder too big of a jump?
Maybe name wise. I don't think skill wise. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the UFC would be doing him a solid. It really just depends on because it's not all politics, but it's some politics. Like if the UFC feels like doing him a solid. And then it also depends, like, would Felder want that fight? Like, Felder may feel the opposite way politically. Like,
It
But I
sounded
feel
like
Fiziev won a lot of fans probably. We can't be the only assholes that like Fiziev now. You know, I want to watch him fight again.
And when Felder interviewed Fiziev after the fight, he was like, dude, very impressive. Like, it sounded like Felder was legitimately impressed. Yeah, and so Felder's a guy that really does fight off respect.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I'd watch it. I'd be down to watch it for sure. All right, let's go on to this Jack Hermanson. Yeah, Kelvin Gastelum, co-main.
Middleweight.
I think a lot of people were excited to see Gastelum fight. I mean, I know Gastelum.
I
love
him.
Name value. He still has, like, for whatever reason, like, MMA is a weird sport. Like, I mean, other sports happens too, but there's just certain names that just kind of roll off the tongue or whatever that you remember that stick in your head, and it's like,
his fight with Stylebender, bro, is legendary. It's a legendary fight. That's the only reason I will want to watch him, you know?
No, good point.
Which is weird. Like, one good fight has me as a fan of his. And it's weird. That's super weird.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, he has some personality. He has like some like rootable characteristics. You know, he's kind of a guy you wouldn't mind seeing getting a win. Like, I don't know, like there's certain guys like that I feel like. And he just kind of makes you want to root for him in a way. But yeah, he's fighting Jack Hermanson. It was the co-main. I mean, over before. There were so many of these, and I guess we were talking about all the submissions, and I guess all those submissions were in the first round, or three of them at least, because once again, theme of the night. I've said it like this. I'm my 8th time saying this cliche-ass phrase, but
all 5 were first round. All 5 were first round.
Over before it started. Well, really cool. That's a unique card. You know, that's probably not going to happen.
5 first-round submissions, probably not again for a long, long time.
And like I said, it would be one thing if they were all rear naked chokes, but there were all these different, various. Exotic,
there wasn't one sub that was the same. All 5 were different.
That's what I'm saying, man.
That's crazy.
And we always talk about on this show about how grappling is entertaining and badass and like, it's not always a leg humping fest, but because that's a prime example of it. You can be creative and exotic and rare and exciting by grappling, but,
Okay, let me ask you this. So Hermanson wins by heel hook, super fast.
Heel hook, yep.
Kelvin's hairstyle sucks cocks. And also, fucking Hermanson tried for the heel hook once. He missed it. And then Gastelum was like, yeah, just go ahead and let's do it again. We'll see if you get it this time. Like, what the fuck was that?
So let's break it down a little bit. It happened when Gastelum was trying to stand up. He was trying to I believe he was on top, right? Gastelum was on top, and then he tried to separate and get it back to the feet. But he did it like A, prematurely, and B, lackadaisically. Like, he just literally
no
tried
energy.
to stand up. Like when you're wrestling, like your like little cousin or something, and he's like grabbing your leg, and you just try to like casually pull your leg out, but you're wrestling in an elite world class MMA fighter that knows submissions. Like, he literally just tried to stand up. Like, I feel like there was zero technique or even zero like sense of urgency. He literally just casually stood up and tried to like walk out of it, and homeboy was like, yeah, maybe not, homie. And like, I don't know. Like, I thought it was like, it didn't strike me as a guy who was like, head was really fully in it, or fully invested, or maybe he was just trying to get the check, or maybe he's dealing like, I don't know, maybe did his girl leave him? Does he have an alcohol problem? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like I feel like performances like that are usually followed by like a fucking TMZ headline. Like, fucking busted doing fucking horse tranquilizers off somebody's titties or something. But I mean,
something was off about him for sure.
Something was off, like his give a shit meter. Like, I mean, I'm kind of saying that other shit tongue in cheek, but I say that all to say it's like, yeah, his give a shit meter, his sense of urgency is just like, how serious were you taking that, dog? Like, I don't know, but yeah, fight was over before it started. First round heel hook by Hermanson. I mean, wait for him to get a dub, an easy dub without taking damage, and I'm sure he'll be trying to fight again soon and, get another bag. So, I mean, I can't really say that I'm looking forward to his next fight because I feel like he got that handed to him on a silver platter, but, I mean, whatever.
So, in his post-fight, he actually broke down the whole way he sees 185 playing out, And I kind of like what he said. He said this weekend we're going to see this next weekend, which shout out to the next Beefy Boys 8, which is going to be Whitaker Till. I can't fucking wait for that fight.
Yeah, that's a bigger name card for sure. Like,
for sure,
and name value.
And not to look too far ahead to it, but he said that the winner of that fight is who he should fight because Jared Cannonier is going to fight the winner of Costa Adesanya. Yeah, and then he said that the winner of his fight then should then fight the winner of Cannonier / Adesanya Costa. But then, like, what happens to Costa or Adesanya? You know, that was a long scheme.
I love how he went that in depth with it.
Yeah,
like that. Like, he'll probably have a future in podcasting or on ESPN or something if he keeps it up, because I love that. Like, I just love that's how his brain worked. Like, because that's how, like, our fans' brain work. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And sometimes these fighters just have these unrealistic call-outs or just delusional about where they stand in the hierarchy. But no, he just was like, okay, well, if this happens and this happens and this, like, I just love that. I found that very entertaining.
I thought it was all super smart the way he said it. Essentially, it's like essentially like painted the picture of an 8-man tournament that they're all in, and he was like, "Here's how it should play out."
Yeah, which is what's happening kind of behind the scenes, like unofficially.
Essentially, yeah, it has to.
All right, man, and then we have the main event.
Dude,
which,
first of all,
depending how you look at it, could have been considered. All right, yeah, my bad. Go ahead. You feel strong.
I fucking hated this fight so much, dude. Like, I wanted to just turn off my TV when I saw it. I just wish the guy would retire and quit fucking fighting. The fifth time he fights for the belt, he just can't get it. He just will never, ever get it. And I'm tired of him trying.
Me too. I agree with everything you said. But I just looked at it from the other dude's perspective. How, like, because
Figueiredo?
Yeah, the other dude fucked him up last time. But yet everybody and their dog was talking out the side of their lips saying, oh, this happened, headbutt, blah, blah, blah.
Well, he missed weight.
Missed weight? Yeah, but that seems to not be the thing most people are saying.
Oh, like, that's all I care about.
That seemed to me to be just the matter of fact, like, legal. That's not like you signed the paperwork,
right?
But I'm talking about as far as like the conversation around the sport and what fans and Twitter and all that was. They seem to mainly be talking about the headbutt more so than the weight miss. And
he proved that wrong.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, yeah, I'm just taking, like, his approach to this fight. Everybody's been calling him a fake champ and all this shit for the past however many months. And then he goes out there and just fucks homeboy up, like just dramatically, like, just damn near as perfect as a fight can possibly go.
Dropped him three times in the first round. Had him in 4 different rear naked choke attempts before the last one hit.
Like, bro, like, yeah, like
that shit would be like 10. That's like a 10-7 round.
No, seriously, like, if that's possible, if that's ever been done, like, if it wouldn't have ended by this finish, it had to have been because, like, earlier I said how I like to, even when a guy gets smoked, I like to try to, grasp at straws and find maybe a skill they can build on moving forward. Like, I try to, compliment their heart, their balls, their whatever, their bravery, their whatever the fuck. I try to find
their footwork.
Maybe they have a nice single kick that they're good at. Whatever. No, not a single positive word to say.
He's good at peeling hands off for rear naked chokes. He escaped 3.
And just like, so let me ask you, does he have a history of having a weenie chin, or does fucking Figueiredo just have dynamite hands?
So it's both. So that's Benavidez's third. That was his 35th pro fight, and he's 36 years old. So he's just like should be done, man. Like that's
he's a small man. Yeah.
Hey, he's 125. So I say he needs to retire in my notes. But also, like, apparently Figueiredo, they all think he should be at 135, and he makes this drastic cut. Like apparently that cut damn near kills him. So he like when he comes back in the cage, he weighs like 150.
I mean, what I would do if I was him, just off like brand build, like businessman wise, I would, but essentially what I'm saying is he should try to hold both belts.
Oh, we'll go for 135? And then he can challenge Henry Cejudo too.
Something like that, because, like, if that cuts that hard for him, then he's not going to be able to maintain that belt anyway. But if he can, for a split second in time, hold both belts, I mean, that you're getting paid off that until the day you die. Like you elevate yourself into an echelon to where, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a game changer.
Well, check this out.
The list of 2 people to hold 2 belts is a very small list. So I don't know. And he does have fucking thunder in those hands, bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, check this out.
He can obviously grapple too. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Oh, I was just going to say, he has 9 KO victories, 7 submission victories out of his 19 victories. He only has 3 that he's won in decision. He's finished 16 fights out of 19.
I'm impressed. That's why, like, whenever you're saying, like, oh, this fucking fight, I feel you. If you're looking from a Benavidez standpoint, I totally felt that. But looking from a Figueiredo standpoint, I low-key felt, and I know not that many eyes were on it because it was ESPN Plus Fight Night. Free
125.
125, I get all that. I feel like low-key a star was born, or like as much of a star as can be born given that platform, but
I'll give you that. I would give you that.
Like, I just, like, looking at it from his point of view, man, I mean, I can't wait to watch his next fight because he starches folks. Like, that's exciting. Like, that translates. Like, everybody always says 125 doesn't translate to the casual fan or the casual sportsman or the layman because there's not as much pop. It's not as exciting. There's more decisions. That's what always has been said about 125, and it's mostly true. But, I mean, if you're telling me there's a 125er that sends guys to fucking orbit, I mean, pretty much kills every argument of the traditional 125 argument. And I feel like people would want to watch it just off the basic caveman instinct of people watching, like watching people get dropped. It translates. You don't need a lot of skill or knowledge to know who wins or loses whenever people get fucking literally taken off their feet like a cheesy action movie.
Man, that Figueiredo, you're right. Looking at it for him, he's a monster. I also, you know what's hilarious is before he dropped him the 3rd time with the hook, I wrote in my notes, Figueiredo should just throw right shovel hooks all night long. He hasn't missed one. And then he drops them again. And that's when I wrote Joey B needs to retire. That was my last notes on that fight.
Like, drop kind of doesn't even, like, diction-wise do it justice because drop implies straight down. This was, like, straight up, like, pew! Like, he literally would get, like, knocked flying through the air.
He was, like launching him.
Shitty movie. Like, seriously, like a shitty, or like those like fake martial artists where all their students kind of buy into the bullshit and send themselves launching through the air. Like, shout out Steven Seagal, but yeah, like that's what it looked like. He would literally go flying through the air like a fucking cartoon. Like, it was crazy, just time and time again. And I mean, I don't know, man. You know what? Like, truly, like if Benavidez would have survived the first round.
He was 12 seconds away. He was 12 seconds away.
But I think the ref would have sent the doctor over, bro. Like,
really?
Bro, I mean, I've seen the doctor be sent over for worse rounds than that, or less worse rounds than that. Like,
fair point. It's a fair point.
He was getting, like, anime punched, bro. Like, I've been watching, like, Naruto, and, like, they be flying through the air and shit. Like, literally, like he was getting, like, fucking Dragon Ball Z punched, like, flying across the ring 3 times. And then got choked. Like,
he got choked out bad, too. He got choked out bad. Like, he was, like...
Bad.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, man. Like...
What a way to end the card, too. Like, both those fights, like yeah, Figueiredo dominated, but there was no competition in the title fight. And then the co-main Hermanson is over in fucking a minute because Kelvin Gastelum looks like he doesn't give a fuck. Like, terrible last 2 fights, in my opinion, as far as entertainment value.
But there's 2 types of fight fan, bro. There's like because there's the type of fight fan that thinks that was anticlimactic and they wanted more time and you know, but there's also just like people that just love finishes, like by any means necessary, and a fast finish. There's some people out there that think fast finishes are even more exciting than long bangers.
That's true.
Those people exist. So, I mean, well, I do prefer a long banger. I'll say this, I guess if I'm faced with the choice, like ultimatum, A, B, multiple choice, you want a first-round finish that seems a little anticlimactic, or do you want a 5-round decision? I'll go first round finish. Like I mean, I know there's a lot more nuance than that, but if you're given the choice, you know.
All right, here's like my ideal fight is like Yuri Prohaska, right? Like it's just this crazy first round, and then comes out and it's just a sleep. Someone goes to sleep. I love those fights.
Early second round finishes are dope.
I love those fights.
Early third.
Yes, agreed.
Early second or early third. Those are talking about entertainment, best of both worlds.
Or like title fights with like a late fourth round TKO. I'm usually a fan of.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, man. Fucking thank you so much, Harrison. Thank you to everybody watching.
Yeah.
Man. That was a great card. This next card's gonna be amazing too.
Whitaker Till, baby. Whitaker Till.
And that's next Saturday, correct?
Yes, sir. Yep. 25th.
Look for us Sunday the 26th.
That is the final scheduled Fight Island as well, I should note.
Yeah, it is. But actually, you know what? Dana kind of walked that back. I don't know if you kind of watched any kind of read between the lines. Dana was saying, like, this isn't a one-time thing. This is, like, a new venue.
Yep.
And, like, bro, Corona's not going anywhere. I mean, it's like, I think you did a good point in saying that, like, last scheduled Fight Island fight.
Right.
I think, personally, they're going to schedule more. I mean, these have been a huge success for everybody involved.
He said he's going to buy real estate to live on out there.
I mean, why not? He could. I mean, fuck, it looks dope. I mean, it's not like that's his only house. No, I'm fucking there. I mean, I don't blame him, man. I don't blame him. But yeah, man, so we'll be back at you. Another Beefy Boy 8 coming to you next Sunday the 26th.
Yes, sir.
Fight Island 3 coming to you next Saturday. Appreciate the support. I have a strong feeling that we may have the logo and our Fight Island shirts by the next one. I don't want
Yes, sir, yeah.
The fans I got a good feeling.
Also, the fans got blessed with 3 episodes this week. We got blessed with 3 cards this week.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love doing this with you. I love doing this with everybody that's watching, listening. Only nowhere to go but up, man. We're building this. You know, we're coming to you like clockwork after every fight. Yeah, you can count on us. If you want your fight breakdowns, come to the Beefy Boys Forum. And yeah, please, man, with every share, every follow, we appreciate it. It helps. It really does, and it don't cost a dime. So help us out, man. Support the Beefy Boys. And we got big things coming y'all's way. Stay tuned. Appreciate you, bro. You'll be safe out there.
Yes, sir.